Alrighty, here we go. I'm about to start a day full of watching movies, which means I'm going to get progressively drunker as we go. So, not that it'll matter for this reaction. I won't be very drunk for this reaction. But just so you know, I'm planning on doing. Mario suggested some horror movies. So, I'm planning, like I owed him Smile for a long time. That's going to be one of the ones I do, right? I want to wait until I'm really fucking drunk. And I'm going to do these horror movies, and it's going to be a blast. We should have a lot of fun with that. But you'll see those at some point. It's just, I'm really looking forward to the day, man. It's gonna be a lot of fun watching a lot of different movies. I don't know how many I'm gonna get through. I don't know how drunk I'm gonna be. I don't know if I'll pass out, come back and do some more. I don't know how it's gonna go. But let's just go and get into this. This is a Eric request, and it's Eraserhead, which I think, and people send me blurbs, and I try not to look at them ahead of time because I want to be influenced. But I think this is David Lynch's first movie, if I remember right. Vague memory. I could be way off on that, but I did notice that one of the people in this movie looks like Christopher Martin from Kid and Play. Remember, not the way Christopher Martin looks now. He's old and his hair is short. But do you remember back when Kid and Play were a thing? Christopher Martin was the one with the huge afro or whatever. Was that even called an afro? It was a pile of hair, right? This dude looks like that motherfucker. So this ought to be a fun movie just for that reason. I don't like black and white. It's, I'm too young to like black and white, but I don't feel like that's a deal breaker. I'm not going to bitch about it. It won't even be referenced at all during the reaction. I doubt. I seriously doubt it. One of the reasons I don't like black and white is not what you might think. I think the lighting is trash in black and white. Because you can't do very much, right? Like lighting is about color, right? It's just so maybe again I'm like one of these newfangled new kids on the block. One of the only times I feel young these days, where it's like I just think that the addition of color added so much to what you could do with the visual storytelling. Every frame's a portrait. That kind of thing. I don't think every frame's a portrait when it's black and white. I think the lighting is just trash. It's like there's like they can only do 15% with lighting that you can do with color. That's the biggest reason. It's not about I can't. You can fill it in with your imagination. Obviously, when we read a book, we fill everything in with our imagination. That's not it. It's just not as visually interesting. Having said that, like minor gripe, and maybe I'll be wrong. Like I in my life I've seen one or two black and white movies that were extremely visually interesting, and it's because they were almost exclusively shot outside. There is more you can do when you're outside in the daylight. There's more you can do. Inside, there's just so much you can do. But like I said, I've said it here. I won't bitch about it later. All right, and this is gonna be a full reaction, and it's a short movie, so we should be able to get through this. I'm gonna try to actually do it in one sitting, unless something goes horribly wrong, like I forgot to turn off my air conditioner and it starts up really loud, and so I have to pause and stop it. But unless that happened, we'll be able to do this in one shot. Alrighty, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, the Criterion Collection. Interesting. Is that even a thing anymore? I mean, I know we're seeing it, but like, do they put out the DVDs anymore? Now that we don't use DVDs? Okay, it is David Lynch. Okay. I did remember correctly. I love that that's his production company name. I just realized. Is he called Eraserhead because of that pile of hair on top of his head? Makes sense. There's a certain kind of logic to that. The hell were you doing here? Trying to figure out what that is in the background. That's not the moon, is it? And we know with the David Lynch movie, we're not going to get any straight answers. It's going to be more interpretive. He's the Picasso of filmmakers. in both senses of the word, because he's a genius, but also everything is open to interpretation. And the sound design is always going to be on point. We know that too. Now it's starting to look like the back of somebody's head. No, not somebody's head, I guess. It's crazy to me. Some of his episodes of Twin Peaks: The Return were like an hour long, maybe a little bit longer than an hour. That's only 20 minutes shorter than this. This is 89 minutes. He was almost doing whole ass movies with each episode of that series. This is all very interesting. I don't know what to make of it. I'm thinking maybe it's his dream life. This is a nightmare he has, but who the hell knows? The fact they cut back to him makes me think, and then of course they started with him as well, right? Going up and down. I think we're supposed to interpret that this is a nightmare he's having. Wait, this came out in '77, right? I wonder if there's some Vietnam themes in this. Because he's pulling levers, but they look like rifles, right? And he's damaged the way that people came back from Vietnam. It's way too early to make any real guesses, but I'm starting to get that feeling. Because at first I thought they were rifles, and then he started pulling levers. So I'm assuming this is all a dream. Probably is. For all I know, this is a sci-fi movie about alien invasion. I have no idea. Think about the self-confidence of opening a movie like this in 1977. This will fly these days. Now, this is something that black and white movies can do very well. That looked like some kind of object. Come to find out, it's negative space, not positive space. It looked like positive space, it's negative space. You can't do that in a color movie. The color variance is just it'll give the game away. You can do that in black and white. Now that is using your medium. That was brilliant. Because I thought it was some kind of object, just like the other objects that were going back and forth, right? No, it was a hole. Like you were in the bottom of a hole looking up at the sky, right? You can only do that black white. That's brilliant. I'm actually going to check when the first line of dialogue is because that's another bold choice. Running time, I mean. I'm afraid to touch it though because an ad to pop up, so I'll just have to estimate. I probably had a 3 minute opening narration, opening monologue, intro. I guess is what the kids are calling it these days. So whatever the record time is, I'll subtract about 3 minutes from that, and that should be how much into the movie we are before they have their first line of dialogue. Which whatever it is, it's going to be almost a Hollywood record. He's brimming with confidence, and he must have been so fucking young when he made this movie. Like this dude had to be what? What is he now? He's in his 70s, right? And this was 46 years ago. So yeah, he was like 30. I guess he would have been 25 if he's around 71. So he's between 25 and 30 years old, had this much self confidence. Incredible. Because I've been in movie premieres where I didn't start off the movie very well, and the crowd's getting restless, and you're sweating bullets. I would have never had the confidence to start a movie this way. I would have had to. You would have had to do something. That's why they do those in media res openings. This is what happens in the middle of the movie. Then they start off with the slow start, right? No, he ain't doing none of that shit. You'll take the movie this way and you'll like it. It's so far I do. Like I don't know what the hell's going on, but it's very interesting. It's fascinating to see that he was doing this shit here that he would be doing in Twin Peaks: The Return in 2017. That how long it took him. They start the shot. You're in an empty room, and it must have been 10 seconds before he rounds the corner and comes in. Who does that, right? Like any other director or editor, there's 1 second and then he comes in. Man, we were sitting there for 5, 6, 10 seconds. He was doing that in Return. I was talking about it then. And I thought it was specifically to Twin Peaks. No, he was doing this shit back in this movie. Look at this. Look how long it's taking for he's just standing for the doors to close. No other director on Earth would have had those doors take that long to close. Like we're trying to get to the next scene, right? He don't give a shit. It's gonna take how long it takes. It would take in real life, right? Like that. So what I thought was integral to Twin Peaks was specifically tied to Twin Peaks is just what he always does. Then apparently, or maybe this is his closest movie to Twin Peaks. Maybe Twin Peaks was a return to this movie. Like he's continued on. So like if I watch every other one of his movies and he never does this again, then I would draw that conclusion. I don't have a large enough sample size yet. I just find it endlessly fascinating. Such a unique viewpoint for a director. In a world where movies are starting to feel and look the same, more and more often we're seeing that. It's rare that a movie stands out these days. Oh, here we go. First line of dialogue. 11 to 13 minutes, I think. Probably 11 minutes into the movie for the first line of dialogue. Incredible. He looks like somebody I recognize, but I must have known him when they were way older. I can't place who the fuck this is. So I'm thinking food. I was wondering. I actually thought you might pull out one of those tapeworms. Yeah, there he was dreaming about, or whatever the hell that was at the beginning. You know what's interesting? This hairstyle would not be out of place these days. I guess it was like really radical back then. I'm assuming they named the movie after his hair. Nobody would bat an eye these days with this hairstyle. Like I said, Kid and Play were doing it in the '80s, maybe '90s. I can't remember when that was. And now anybody's walking around like this. Can't tell. Was that a blood spot on his ankle? It looks like there was a discoloration around the ankle area. Maybe it's just wet. Like I said, it's hard to tell black and white. I'm not gonna keep bitching about it, but like I literally can't tell. Is that like blood? Is it water? Oh, he's got a pocket protector. I just realized. Back then, that was the number one badge that you were a nerd. When you hell, you're just trying to keep your shirt protected, man. It's also possible my screen's a little dark too, because I can't make out what the hell this is either. See if I can brighten it up here. That's at max. What if that's hair on the counter there in front of him? It resembles his hair. What if that's what that is? Do you think he collects hair? Is it his hair? Is it other people's hair? Maybe that's what we saw on the floor too that he's looking at. I feel like I need to go back and rewatch that conversation in the hallway because I didn't catch the beginning of it. The sound was too low, and so I couldn't really hear it very well. I'm going to do that, so I guess I will be pausing the movie. I'll do that, and I'll come back and continue because I feel like that interaction was maybe more important than I thought it was at first. Now that he's looking at pictures, maybe he did something to somebody that they were asking about. So I need to do that, but I have to wait for a line of dialogue I can cue off of. So however the hell it takes, however the hell long it takes for somebody to speak again, right? That could be 20 minutes. Don't get scared now. Well, then again, you were standing on train tracks. I guess it's understandable, right? Guess I can't mock a man for that. Is that her in the picture? I think it is. The top half of the picture, that is. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I went back and then the phone call was just about this. It was she was saying this woman called for him to show up for dinner or some shit. Look at you being all irritated. Besides, you didn't talk to me directly. How you can be mad I'm late? If that woman had been asleep, I would never got the message. I don't know. I just don't think that's fair, man. Open the fucking door. Thank you. Then I'm not late, am I? If dinner's almost ready. Rich Eisen's got a segment he calls "Salty Tua" when the quarterback for the Dolphins, I can't pronounce his last name, but Tua, you know what I mean. Whenever he's pissed off, I guess he's salty Tua. Maybe we need a salty Shadow Dog segment because that shit she said made me salty. Talking about I'm late. This is interesting. Still learning about these characters, man. We're already like 20% into the movie. The video lag, but I'm still hearing the audio. That was weird. That's disturbing. He does so much for sound design, man. This guy's. I never had any appreciation for David Lynch. I thought he was a joke because people made fun of him in my circles. The other independent filmmakers. I go to American Film Market. Distributors make fun of him. So that was my only impression of him. I hadn't really seen any of his movies that I remember anyway. Maybe one or two. You know, I hadn't watched Twin Peaks, so I just knew him by reputation. Reputation was everybody made fun of him. Man, they're fucking crazy. He's a genius. Dude is brilliant, man. Yeah, start talking faster. You're giving her a panic attack. Yeah. How do you be clever at printing? You press a button. Well, I guess it's more complicated back then. You had to typeset, right? You talking about McNuggets? I bet they're McNuggets, aren't they? Yeah, it's very important to know what you do for work, right? Not so important now. Like, this was a thing back in the 70s, 80s. Off the top, you had to tell what your occupation was. I don't think people leave with that anymore. Good thing I got the captions on. I wouldn't be able to hear this son bitch. Yeah. Don't make me kick your old ass. Weird motherfucker. Would you, by any chance in hell, eat at this house? There's no fucking way. I don't eat strangers' foods anyway, man, but, like, sure as fuck ain't eating here. Yeah, they don't look like McNuggets. I want you to feel like you're participating there, Granny. Make sure we get the old people's skin falling off, flakes of skin falling off into the food. No chance in hell I'm eating here, man. Zero. There's a football player who prepared chicken in a sink. Just in a sink, not in a bowl, in a sink, right? I had to eat his shit before I eat this. Oh, yeah, I gotta make sure she smokes up, right? I know it's not a joint, but I'm hoping it's a joint. There are Arby's I would eat at before I'd eat here. No, sir. I'm sure they don't want to hear it again. Yeah, they only have medical degrees. What the hell do they know? Stupid doctors with all their education. You could have just asked me, dude. I need to hear your life story. I want you to wear a hairnet before you go near my food, though. They are small. He's not wrong about that. No. I think the fuck not. Yeah, there's no fucking way. Oh, come on, man. We don't need the fucking close up. Holy shit. Oh my god. Now I'm very fucking grateful that this is in black and white. I don't know if I could take that in color. Hey, Henry, get the carving here. You're not doing a good enough job. Make this shit happen. Carve, bitch. There's no fucking way. Yeah, I'm out of here. You need to exercise your power if I'm getting the fuck out of here. Not enough people do it in movies. I know I'm not staying here. That's what the fuck I know. I want something really disgusting to happen at the table and I just act like it didn't happen. That would be awesome. There's a lot of power in that. Just make regular small talk, right? As this disgusting thing happens on the table. Like that would that would be incredible. I now want this more than I've ever wanted anything in my life. I need to get one of those prop chickens. I see the chicken still isn't carved. Yes, please. If it gets me away from this fucking table. This is incredible. This man got money, I presume, from Hollywood to make this in 1970s. I don't mean that as any kind of an insult either. I'm saying like they're so fucking stuck up in Hollywood. I've tried. I've pitched movies directly to distributors all the time, baby. I lick her booty hole too. Like, do you want details? We say she's pregnant. You shake my arm again. Find out what happens. Yes, we're fucking. How many holes she got? I've had them all. How about you eat my ass? What are you gonna do about it? That's when you gotta get large, right? What? Are you a vampire? Yeah, I think she's. I think they're vampires. That's what the fuck's going on here. That's right, chomp. Yeah, hey, his neck smells like he been fucking. That's where she been going all this time. Okay, I've been smashing. Oh shit, that goes back to the dream. Look at that. You got a shotgun? That's the only way this marriage is gonna happen. Okay, so I have several questions. One, why were you licking my neck? Two, why did that feel so good? Three, what's up with the chicken? I mind everything that's happened in the last 20 minutes. Everything. Oh, about getting married? There's no way I'm married into this family. Sure, whatever. It's also getting really disgusting. I forgot this old bitch was in here just smoking a cigarette by herself. I'm still thinking vampires. She seemed awfully interested in his neck. It would explain a lot. Then again, if it was vampires and he had a nosebleed, he'd been done. That'd been too much. You'd be like you're flaunting yourself. Even the dogs are tripping. Is that the baby? I think that's the baby. I could tell you more if the camera's anywhere close to it at all. Like, you know. That's okay. Never mind. Take the camera back. Pull it back. Pull the camera back. Be back where you were before. I immediately regret my decision. I'm good. Thank God. Thank you. Yes. We're good right here. We don't need to be any closer. What proof is this? It's only 60 proof, man. So this movie's actually happening. I'm not like hallucinating this. Might have to switch to moonshine after this one though. Thank God this is black and white. Yeah, I'm serious, man. I think in color I would be throwing up. Well, guess it's time to move to Malta. Anywhere but here, right? Assuming it's wedding ring, right? That's what I'm thinking. Could be a chocolate though, like one of those Hershey's Kisses. I think it's a ring, or is it hair? Of all the hair obsessed movies, this is certainly one of them. I mean, this is all metaphor, right? Like, obviously, babies are monsters when they come in and blow up your life. They're disgusting, perverted things. Like, it's, the subtext is text, right? That's what he's doing here. The family's weird. You're uncomfortable around them. The dinner table's uncomfortable. That's what they're doing with the chicken and the shit coming out of the chicken. You're meeting your lover's family for the first time, and they don't like you because they know you're fucking. And so dinner's uncomfortable. That's what all this is. It's just taking it to extreme fucking level, so it's super obvious, right? That's what's all is happening on the surface level. I mean, the surface level metaphors are obvious. I'm just wondering if there's anything else happening here. Is there something I'm missing that's above the obvious? Like, I'm pretty sure the hair thing means something. His distinctive look means something. See, this is what I'm not getting. I'm getting the obvious shit with the monster baby. I don't get this. It is funny though how, depending on your circumstances, situations, and relationships, a pregnancy can either be the most beautiful thing that's ever happened to you, or the worst thing that's ever happened to you. It's so situational. We know he got that little hair ring in the mail, so he's lying to her. Hey, why don't you tell that monster alien hybrid to shut the fuck up? I'm trying to sleep. So is that mail you lied to me about? Yeah, that's looking like one of those worms we saw at the beginning. I think it's hungry. Why don't you put your tit in that disgusting thing's mouth? I assume we skipped the marriage, right? They're married? Yeah, yeah, don't even think about it. That's how we got in this problem in the first place. So we time jump past the marriage, and which is why they're cohabiting. She got the baby from the hospital. I keep coming back to the hell was it? Sucker Punch. That was the name of that movie. Feels like Sucker Punch in a way. I mean, visually they're nothing alike. More in how it made me feel. Hey, baby, what's good over there? Go do something about it, man. Put your tit in that disgusting creature's mouth. Screaming at ain't gonna do shit. There's an alien snack. I was gonna say Scooby snack, but I don't think it applies. That's right. You just gonna sit there and let that baby cry, huh? There's a thing I think I don't know much about it, but I think there's a thing where you let a baby cry themselves out for about 10 minutes to see if they go to sleep. Under certain circumstances, they've already been fed. You just changed them, like they just you don't know what the hell they want. And if they cry themselves out within 10 minutes and go to sleep, it was fine. You don't want to overreact to every noise they make. If they don't, then something's actually wrong. You need to identify what it is. I feel like we're way beyond that point. I'm out of here. So you're just gonna leave the fucking light on after you left the room, huh? Wait, she shoot herself? Wouldn't shock me. Oh. Why'd you leave the light on? You just need a night off. Give it to your parents. Maybe. Then go get that taken care of. And turn the fucking light off. Like, that's unbelievable. That's the most unbelievable thing in this whole fucking movie. You're gonna leave the fucking room. God damn, dude. You're gonna leave this fucking room with the light on. What the hell was she doing? Hey, thanks for the massage or whatever this is, but can you turn the fucking light off? I assume this is simulating the act that caused the baby. Yep, that's the way the bed was rocking. Thanks for that. Oh, okay. She was just pulling out the thing. Okay. I still think she was simulating the act. The writer is, anyway. I cannot fucking believe she left that light on, man. That's rude as a motherfucker. That's just pure petty vengeance. You could have told me to wrap it up, or like you could have been on the pill. He was getting it raw in the 70s. That was dangerous as hell, man. Oh, this ain't gonna be good. Oh, good, it's dead. Now I have to listen to it anymore. Ah, shit, I saw it move. Don't wake the baby. If he's chilling, leave it. Leave me alone. I'm trying to sleep, asshole. I don't want your cigarette. Oh, he's taking the temperature. Yep, confirmed. The test says you're disgusting. What does that mean? Looks like it's a little low. I think babies may be a different average temperature than humans are. We're 98.7. Oh, shit. You gave him the chicken pox. Congratulations, movie. You found a way to make him even more disgusting looking. Bravo. Good job. Didn't know I needed a snot coming out of his disgusting ass nostril. But here we are. Great job. Hey, you got a little makeshift dehumidifier there, or is that a humidifier? I think it's a humidifier. I don't know. It's looking pretty ragged. Looks like the steam's going up instead of across him, right? You know. So you don't want to take him to the ER? You're afraid that they're going to think he's an alien and shoot him? Give me a little hair ring. Maybe you'll like that. So you're just going to leave him, huh? He knows it too. He knows you're trying to get out of here. Don't you even think about it, bitch. It's called supervision. You better call you a nanny or something. You ain't going nowhere. Man, steam's all I got. I don't know anything else. Oh, wet, maybe like a wet towel or something, or I don't know, fluids. What do monsters like? Blood of a virgin, maybe? That's right. Don't even think about it, motherfucker. Any step you take towards that door, I'm raising the volume. Neighbors gonna be calling the police. I'll be so loud. You better sit your ass down. Will you just fucking die? That motherfucker kind of looks like a plucked chicken. How they talk about chickens? A little bit. He doesn't have the beak. Oh, come on, man. Ugh. There's only so much I can take. This motherfucker's disgusting. Filthy, disgusting ass alien. Yes, he's much better with the light off. Thank you. Funny thing is, since she left, he's been quiet unless you're trying to leave. Maybe you can get down on the floor and sneak over to the door. Because he can only see, like, from 4 feet across, right? Like, so if you're below that threshold, he can't see you. I know the best way to describe this movie. Now, I haven't seen it in its entirety. But from what I've seen so far, the best way to describe this movie is interesting but not entertaining. This is not an entertaining movie at all, right? And the primary purpose of movies is to be entertaining. But it's interesting. I'm not bored. Yeah, and those two things, a lot of people think, well, if you're not entertained, you're bored. No, that's not necessarily true. I think it's a spectrum, right? That's interesting. That kind of reminds me of Twin Peaks. There's definitely a lot of Twin Peaks in this, right? You can see what he was doing and kind of visually and sound design and just a weird factor and just all the metaphor and like you got to interpret things yourself and all this shit. All that would in a couple decades become Twin Peaks. Well, I guess Twin Peaks is what late '90s, 12 years later, and then a few decades after that, right? For the return. This you can see proto Twin Peaks in this movie. The difference is Twin Peaks was entertaining, despite how weird it got and how much was open interpretation, all those stuff. So what he did is he perfected the formula. He could do interesting and entertaining at the same time with Twin Peaks. This is not entertaining, but it is interesting. So that's my summation of the movie in a nutshell. Now, of course, we got to finish it, but. So I think he definitely perfected the formula in the next decade. That's right, stepping that son of a bitch. Fuck him. Hey, just wasn't enough room on the stage, man. They were crowding me. They were definitely juicy, aren't they? Some of the sound design is the same as Twin Peaks as well. Like that noise right there is familiar to me. Can't have a noisy bedmate, man. And they're acting like that bed is like 6 inches wide. Look at her. She's up his ass. The married life ain't about it, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. They're doing everything they can to be disgusting on this show. This movie. It's all pointing to, like, the shotgun wedding, having sex without protection, the unexpected pregnancy. It all sucks. Everything about it sucks. The whole thing sucks. It makes your life suck. You know, you're going to be miserable throughout the whole process. Like, it's all pointing to that. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Yeah, this probably shouldn't be in bed with us. I wonder how many more are in there. That's why we're so damn uncomfortable. There's a million of them. We got a bunch of them, I tells you. Yeah, that's right. Squash them. We spend a lot of money in these props. We're going to use them. See, you shouldn't have lied about this being in the mail. Gotta say, the prop work slash, I guess this would be like you'd consider that animation. I think it's stop motion. It looks like all that stuff is excellent. I don't know what the budget was for this film, but the prop designs, like the aliens and the worms, and all the stuff they're doing, like the chicken and the various disgusting liquids. This sequence, like, it's all extremely well done for what I assume is not very much money at all. So it's very well executed. I'm gonna get more with the neighbor, huh? I wonder what she represents. I haven't figured that part out yet. Is she the external threat to the marriage? We're seeing all the internal threats exemplified visually, right? She probably represents the external threat to the marriage. Yeah, but you did. I might as well sleep in your bed. The beauty of this is you can actually construct an entirely different narrative than I have. I think it's all about marriage and shotgun weddings, unprotected sex, babies, all that. You construct an entirely different narrative. It could be about fear of pharmaceuticals, right? Like, because it's so open to interpretation. It could be about fear, like we had the scene with the chicken earlier. Process the way what we're doing with food these days, even back in '77. The chickens were like, you even talked about how they were smaller and stuff like that. Back then, the cruelty chickens was a big thing. Now the cruelty free chickens are a much bigger deal, right? Like you can extract that narrative. There's so many different things you could just extract from this, and basically you're superimposing your own thoughts onto the movie because it's not giving you anything definitive. It's all subject to interpretation, right? So like when it's subject to interpretation, you can interpret whatever you want. So that's what I get from it. But like there is no right or wrong answer here. Even if the director comes out and says this is what it means, that's not what it means. I'm believing death of the author. You put something on screen and then whatever people interpret it as long as it doesn't contradict what's actually on screen, then there you go. Like for instance, if they never talk about his parents, then you can't say like he killed his father or something like that's. It's not open to interpretation in that way. Like you can't contradict what's on screen. I guess you can't say you can't prove he didn't kill his father if they don't talk about it. But that's a clumsy example. I'm just saying there are limits to this, obviously. But within reason, you can draw any interpretation you want for a movie like this. To me, my interpretation seems pretty reasonable. But I have no idea if that's what he intended. Now, see, she's not uncomfortable in bed. There won't be any worms in bed now. She won't be crowding you unless you like it. Yeah, tell that damn monster baby to shut the hell up. These are the consequences since we know he likes the raw dog, right? This is what's ahead of you if you carry through with this. Don't be looking scared now. Yeah, she looked at the consequences of this action and went and did it anyway. That's what I thought. One scared look, don't tell me nothing. You know he likes the raw dog. I like how the bed has turned into like a cauldron. It's say like two people coming together, or like alchemy. They're like create a potion that creates life. You could draw that from if you want to. That's why their sex bed is turned into a cauldron of sorts. I still don't understand what the hell they're doing with the hair. See, the hair doesn't match what I'm saying, right? I have had a couple times where it lagged, like just now. So this is never going to happen as a straight shot, but still. It's never going to happen. But I have a place where I can download these movies, but you can't download them with captions, and we need the captions for the full reactions. But that's what I've started doing for edited reactions, just download them. That is a creepy character design, man. What makes it so creepy, yes, this is deformed down here, but this is not. That was a brilliant choice The one part that the entire body that's normal is the area around the eyes. That makes it so much more creepy than if they'd fucked with the eyes. Like the hair is weird, the face is weird, all this down here is weird. They left this alone. That I think that's like a force multiplier. It doubles or triples how creepy this shit is. I guess you could interpret this too as like he's death. I guess suppose with this song, the whole movie is like he's dying or died. With like the woman across the hall being maybe the devil or something. You could do that if you want to. I'm not particularly interested in that interpretation, but it's just again, there's so many ways you can interpret a movie like this. That's what makes it fun. What if that's the same? I can't even tell if that's the same actress that plays his wife. I don't think so. She's a little more gaunt than this, but I can't say for sure. I didn't really pay attention to her nose. That could be a fake nose though. Feels like it probably is. Can't tell if that nose is a prosthetic or not. Ah, the curtain demand. So many connections to Twin Peaks. Holy shit! This really is. This is where he returned to these ideas a lot. This actor is really good, considering he's had very little dialogue to work with. It has to all be on his face. He's extremely good, man. He is nailing it. Yeah. Remember I talked about how the props are so good? That was a good head prop. I worked with a guy one time. He was a great makeup artist, and I've talked before. There's only one time I've ever had to fire a director, and this is good too, man. Their makeup effects and props. I hope they got an Oscar for that, man, because this shit is great. But the only time I had to fire a director, he was the one involved with this. He told the guy he wanted a styrofoam head. And the makeup guy was so insulted. He's like, anybody can do a fucking styrofoam head. Styrofoam head is the most basic, weak ass fucking thing you could do ever, man. Styrofoam head. He went on this like the make. I can't reproduce the rant, but this makeup artist ranted about styrofoam head. I swear to God, he ranted for like 20 minutes. Just it pissed him off so much it was asked for a styrofoam head. He's like, challenge me. Give me something that I can actually do. Styrofoam heads look like shit. Some tells me that's not a styrofoam head. Oh man, that brings back good memories. This is a great head. Yep, that's not something you see every day, unless you're homeless on this street. Yep, I'll have that. It's a good prop, man. You can sell that shit on eBay. What do you give me for this? Do you think, as hair obsessed as this movie has been, he is now without his Eraserhead? Once was enough. I like the random rage some of his characters have. Yeah, that's right, Paul. Quit pissing me off, Paul. Here's your problem. It's not attached to a body. Man, that prop is so fire. That may actually be his head right there in that shot. Look at that. Those eyes are really good. I think that's actually his head. I don't know though the way they're moving. Because for a close-up shot where you don't see it cuts off at the neck, you can use the actual actor, right? Even if somebody's pretending to hold it. The way he moved back, I don't know you can do that with a body attached to it. Maybe it's just a really, really good prop. Again, black and white. I don't know if you can sell that in color. Yeah, I'll pay you 17 cigarettes for this head. Oh, they're erasers. Of course they're erasers. I should have known. Eraserhead. It all comes back around. I'll pay you 17 pencils with erasers for this head. I was kind of expecting one of those pencils to come by to be his head instead of an eraser. This is a very inefficient way to get a pencil. Speak for yourself there, buddy. Hey, he is going to get paid for that head. Good job. I was just kidding. You can make anything look and sound ominous with the right music. Boy, have I got a headache. I don't really have anything to say about the content we've been seeing the last 20 minutes. Like it's just like I said, it's so open to interpretation. I've said what I interpret it to be. I can't. I don't really have anything to add to that. Nothing I've seen contradicts that so far. If you could interpret the last 10 minutes as that was a consequence of his actions for having an affair. Bad shit will happen to you if you cheat on your wife. But other than that, I mean, what is there to say here? Like it's the one of the most open interpretation movies I've ever seen in my life, which is impressive. Like I said, it's not entertaining, but it is very interesting. I'm very interested. But yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it. Yeah. This is more the kind of movie that like you. I don't think this makes for a great full reaction. To be honest with you, probably way better as like an edited reaction, like the highlights. There's no dialogue to riff off of. Long periods with like no dialogue, all visuals. There's only so much you can say about that shit. Because this is more of a movie, kind of movie you watch and then you talk about afterwards. You can have like a good hour-long conversation about this movie after you watched it. As you're watching it, I don't know. If there's a whole lot to say about it. But one thing you can definitely say 100% for sure: the sound design, the prop design and execution, all the effects of every type. It's just top notch, man. I don't know what they shot this for, but whatever it was, they squeezed every dollar and they put it on screen. Just very impressive. What are you doing over there? Sounds like almost like you're laughing at me. It's not crying anymore. What is that noise? Another thing that's interesting, I don't know if this is an intentional parallel or not. Remember those levers that guy was pulling? Those resemble the radiator they keep showing. They keep showing us shots of the radiator, right? I don't know if there's supposed to be any kind of connection there. It's one of the many questions I have. That's right. I got a new man now. How dare you cheat on me with how dare you, the person I'm cheating with, cheat on me? Get a room, you two. Yep. He's just as disgusting as a baby now. Look at you. What would we look like if our exterior looked like our interior? Probably wouldn't be pretty for most of us. How's a peeping? Just the way they make that little eye move. I'm sure it's very easy. It's like one string or something, right? But like it looks great. It gives it that sense of life that you need. You don't want it to look like a static, like a plastic or painted on eyeball, right? Like you just a little bit of movement in the eye gives you everything you need for that. It doesn't take much. I'm not somebody that shits on CGI. I think CGI is an incredible tool. People use it poorly. They don't give it enough time, fine. But like in this particular case, this practical baby is better than anything you could have done with CGI. And all you need, like I said, you have a little eyeball. You move with a little string. Make sure you have some liquid to glisten the skin with. And of course, you're gonna have the mouth move and have its little head move back and forth, right? They're not doing much with the body. There's no body movement that I see. The body can be anything. It could be like a loaf of bread wrapped up in a towel, right? Like so, maybe they're a little weak there in the body. They should have like the little feet kicking a little bit or something. But other than that, man, it's a great fucking prop. That's right. You've had it. Oh, are we about to see the body? Hey, man, are you sticking a thermometer up his little ass? Oh, okay, you're freeing me. We're gonna see the body. Cool. Now, see, depending on what they show us with this body, might be taking back my complaint about the feet not moving. Like maybe if it's something that you wouldn't like, it doesn't have feet. Like it's something completely different underneath these bandages, and okay, that's why they didn't have it do anything, no movement or whatever. Congratulations, movie. It's even more disgusting now. Good job. That's one thing I can't really tell, but it doesn't look like there's much in there. Like it's just like a worm, right, or a head. It doesn't have any actual body. It's a chicken, maybe. Yeah. See, so I take back my complaints. Like there was a point to that. Anytime you think you can second guess this son of a bitch, you can't. He's doing something intentional. Yep, may want to close that back up. Oh shit. Sorry, cut that turkey up. Or was it chicken? Yeah. Carve that chicken. That's right. Tired of this shit. They must have somebody dedicated to disgusting fluids because that's about the fourth different disgusting fluid we've seen. Oh, now he's got gravy. Or it looks more like mashed potatoes. I don't think I've ever been revolted by a black and white movie before. Like, they definitely deserve kudos, man. This is revolting. His little eye is up like, dead person. That's good stuff, man. Good shit. Well, if only it was this easy to kill our mistakes. Oh, good thing I was just planning to drink today and not eat, because holy shit. He's gotten big. Look at him. This better have won a makeup special effects award. That's all I can say. Not that I give a shit about the Academy Awards, because I literally don't, but they care, so they should get one. That's right, eat his ass. and not in the fun way. Your light bulb goes out. You dead. Oh no, he's still alive. Okay. Hey, we're back to the beginning. It all comes back around. So maybe that was an egg at the beginning. Yeah, I think it was actually. Alien invasion, insanity, afterlife, or a metaphor for shotgun weddings. You be the judge. Again, makeup special effects. Incredible. Good shit. That afterlife metaphor is really starting to, kick into high gear, ain't it? Welcome to hell. Your bunkmate will be the guy on the bus who hasn't showered in 2 weeks. He's definitely down here. Written, produced, and directed. Oh, John Nance. I'm gonna have to look that name up. Why is he so effing familiar? Apparently he died in '96, and yeah, I know I recognize his older face. So I remember what he played in Twin Peaks. But no, he's familiar to me for another reason. I don't know. Nothing stands out. I probably saw him in some '70s or '80s TV show or movie or something. I don't know. Well, like I said, very interesting movie. Not entertaining. I'm just repeating myself at this point. So like I've already said these things. But I've already talked about like the special effects, sound design. Like I'd just be repeating myself again. So yeah, I guess I have nothing else to say. But this was another great recommendation by Eric. I'm not sorry I watched the movie. Like I said, it wasn't entertaining, but I'm not sorry I watched it. That was extremely interesting, and I'm glad I watched it after Twin Peaks because you can see so much of Twin. You can see where Twin Peaks came from a lot of ways from this movie. So this was the correct order to watch these things.